May I come in, sir?
Please.
Namaste, ma'am. Namaste, sir. Namaste, sirs.
Please take a seat.
Thank you, sir.
Shivansh, and introduce yourself to the board.
Yes. So my name is Shivansh I hail from the city Bahadurgarh in Haryana. I have completed my schooling from St. Thomas School in Bahadurgarh. Further, I have completed my graduation in English Literature from Hansraj College, Delhi University. And sir, in my UPSC Civil Services 2022 attempt, I have been selected in the DANIX Civil Service.
And what was your subject? Sociology?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You didn't take English literature?
No, sir.
Okay. Why?
Yes, sir. Sir, there were two reasons behind it, sir. Firstly, sir, while talking to a lot of seniors of English literature who were also preparing for the exam, they guided me that without a knowledge of English literature of the master's level, it might be very difficult to sit in this exam.
Okay.
And sir, that is why I was motivated to look for other subjects. And sir, I found that there were a lot of thinkers and critics that we read in English literature. For instance, Karl Marx or Emile Durkheim, sir, which are also studied predominantly in sociology. So I went for it, sir.
Okay, good. Now,
Yes, sir.
you explore classical Greek literature and English translation.
Yes, sir.
So, is Greek, classical Greek literature indistinguishable from Greek mythology? What would you say to that?
Yes, sir. Our knowledge of Greek mythology is primarily derived from Greek classical literature. And even in epics like the Iliad, the gods, they are anthropomorphized to a great extent. And thus they play a role in common everyday lives of the heroes of the epics. So yes, sir, I believe that Greek classical literature, it tells the stories of that we read or that we study under Greek mythology, sir.
Okay. So where does Greek mythology begin? How does it begin?
Yes, sir.
In the beginning there was chaos?
Yes, sir. Sir, it is believed that earlier great gods called Titans, they ruled the universe.
No, before the Titans.
Yes,
Before the Titans there was chaos and there was
Yes, sir. Yes,
Earth.
Sir. Yes, sir.
So how did the Titans come into being?
Yes, sir. Sir, Gaia is the name of the earth, sir, in Greek mythology. And sir, it is believed that the Titans, they were offsprings of Gaia,
And
which is earth, sir.
and
Sir, along with that, the sun god, sir. I'm forgetting the name, sir. Sorry, sir.
sun god or time? Cronus.
Sorry, sir. Thank you, sir.
Which of the 5 Titans?
Sir, I confess I'm not very much aware of the 5 Titans, sir, because the Greek mythology tries to avoid the stories of the Titans, sir. For a reason, sir, that the Titans, they have been made evil in the Greek mythology, and they primarily try to focus on the gods, which began with Zeus and Hera after the extinction of the Titans, sir.
So Zeus was the son of
Sir, Zeus
Cronus and
yes, sir.
one of the
Zeus
Titans.
and Hera, sir, they were brother and sister, sir. But to create progeny, sir, they had to marry. And sir, that is how the Greek gods, their lineage started, sir.
Okay, who brought fire to the
Yes.
human beings?
Yes, sir. Prometheus, sir, in defiance of the decree of Zeus, he brought fire. And that is why, sir. Sorry,
What was
sir.
done to him?
Yes, sir. He was chained to a mountain, sir, and an eagle would come every day and eat out his intestines. And this cycle would repeat every single day, sir.
So he was immortal, so you couldn't die, and you faced that,
Yes, sir.
and what was Pandora's box all
Yes,
about?
sir. Yes, sir. Sir, Pandora's box, it is a mythological object in Greek literature. It is believed that the box, when opened, it unleashed all the catastrophes and all the diseases and evils upon the earth, sir.
Who was Pandora actually?
Sorry, sir, I will have to go and revise that.
Yes, Zeus got angry with Prometheus, so he sent Pandora to his brother.
Yes, sir.
And Prometheus had told his brother not to accept any gift from Zeus.
Certainly, sir.
But he still accepted
Yes, sir.
Pandora, and she opened that box, and all the troubles of the world were
Yes, sir.
unleashed.
Yes, sir.
But
Thank
now you are a DANIX professional.
Yes, sir.
What do you think about the current legislation, the tussle between the center and the Delhi government? Do you think that a government which has the mandate of the people should be allowed to function without any restraint? What does the current legislation about the board being formed with the chief minister and chief secretary and this thing do?
Yes, sir.
Does it restrict the government's efficiency?
Yes, sir. Sir, first of all, I believe we must look into the case study of Delhi in itself, sir. Delhi is a unique case study in the world, being one of the only few capitals in the world which has its own legislature elected by the people. And sir, being the capital city of India, sir, it is very important that the administrative setup of Delhi, it is in alignment with the administrative ideas or the governance ideas of the center.
Does that mean that the people of Delhi, who are huge in number,
Yes, sir.
they don't have a right to decide their own fate the way they want to live?
Yes, sir.
Because the central government is located in a very central area, New Delhi district, that's all.
Yes, sir.
So the rest of Delhi, the people have a right to, like the other citizens of the states, they have a right to elect their own representatives and pass laws which benefit them,
Yes, sir.
get civic amenities as per their needs.
Yes, sir.
So right now, what is happening? The government of Delhi is unable to do anything, pass do any kind of civic functions, or the police is not with them, the land is not with them, and now even the power to transfer and take action against the officers has also been taken away with them.
Yes, sir.
So with the current legislation, the bureaucracy has been given supremacy above the political executive. The representative of the masses
Yes, sir.
now cannot transfer or control an officer in the Delhi government. What do you think about that?
Yes, sir.
Should the bureaucracy be given the power to outvote the chief minister the chief secretary and the home secretary? Should be given the power to outvote the chief minister in a board?
Sir, I believe through the National Civil Services, National Capital Civil Services Authority, sir, in which the bureaucrats, they have been given this power, sir. I believe, sir, what is being trying to be done is that the concentration of powers in the hands of a single political representative, it is being trying to be taken away, sir. And I believe that when three people, they will sit together, I definitely believe, sir, that they will be able to form better opinions and take better decisions.
But then the bureaucrats can veto the desire of the chief minister. The chief minister, the representative of the people.
Yes, sir. Yes,
He is formulating public policy which he wants to implement because he has been given the mandate to do it for 5 years.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
Sir. Yes,
now,
sir.
two bureaucrats who have nothing to do with it, they come from Arunachal or they come from somewhere else, and they can outvote him. They say, no, this can't be done.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, is there any place in India or any democracy in the world where the bureaucrats have been given more power than the representative of the people?
Sir, I agree with you.
Supposing you give
yes,
this
sir.
power to the Home Secretary and the Defense Secretary and the Foreign Secretary,
Yes,
and
sir.
the Army Chief to overrule the Union Cabinet, what happens
sir.
then?
Yes, sir. Sir, I agree with you that this is an extraordinary power that has been given to the bureaucrats in Delhi. But sir, I also believe that Delhi, being the national capital, it needs certain special provisions for its governance, sir. And sir, I agree.
Does that mean giving overriding powers to the bureaucracy?
Sorry, sir, that was not my intention to say that, sir.
Okay. I think you should think about it. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Shivansh, you know that the Israel-Hamas war that's going on since October,
Yes.
particularly in this format. So how do you see it evolving?
Yes, sir. Sir, it is a sorry state of affairs and a lot of casualties are taking place in the Israel-Gaza region. And sir, talking about its evolution, sir, I believe that as India has always taken the stand, an amicable solution to this problem could be the two-state solution, which has also been advocated by the United Nations. Apart from that, sir, there needs to be an immediate ceasefire, sir. Otherwise, this death toll might keep rising. And sir, I believe that a global solidarity on this front is the need of the hour, sir.
What do you think of the role of the big powers to quench the fire? Are they doing enough?
Yes, sir. Sir, the big powers, they seem divided on the subject, sir, because America, the United States, it has been seen to support Israel, whereas, sir, recently I was reading a news that Europe is trying to open a support center for sending aid directly to Gaza. So, sir, I believe that there is a lack of global solidarity on what is happening in Israel-Palestine, sir. And I believe definitely enough is not being done, sir. And for enough to get done, sir, I believe a global solidarity primarily advocated by the UN is the need of the hour, sir.
President Biden, he is sending aid directly to Gaza. He's even talked about setting up a port there, right?
Yes.
At the same time, while sending relief to Gaza, even airdropping, he's sending bombs to Israel.
Yes,
So, what do you make of such a policy? And before, let me complete. Look at Britain. It is talking of setting up a monument to Muslim soldiers who fought on its side during the World War. So, is there something going on in terms of their domestic politics?
Sir, definitely every country is trying to maximize their own gains because foreign policy, as has been famously quoted, is about minimizing one's risks and maximizing one's gains. And I believe, sir, that the actions of the US while trying to send aid to Gaza and send bombs to Israel, sir, it is basically trying a balancing act, and it is trying to balance both the sides from its own end, rather than focusing on an amicable peace solution for this problem, sir. Similarly, sir, I believe that enough is not being done on the international front, and for enough to be done, sir, as I have already said, sir, the United Nations needs to come and take a stand on the problem, sir.
And India in particular, what does India need to do?
Yes, sir. Sir, India in the latest UNGA resolution in December, sir, India has stated that there needs to be a ceasefire in Gaza, and there needs to be a moratorium on the war. And in long term, sir, definitely there needs to be a two-state solution, sir.
No, let me ask a last question.
Yes.
Should India, we have good relations with Israel,
Yes.
very good relations,
Yes.
very good relations with Palestine, right?
Yes.
So why don't we offer our mediation services directly? Forget the United Nations.
Yes, sir.
What is the harm in that?
Yes. Definitely, sir, offering our mediation services could be a good way forward. But, sir, that has to take into account that India gets the legitimacy of both these powers as well as other stakeholders in this conflict, sir. And only if India gets legitimacy, then the solution offered by India might be acceptable to both the sides, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Shivansh, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So you are good at Sanskrit slokas, totras.
Yes.
Is there any scientific angle that you see?
Sir, I have read certain articles which say that these totras and shlokas, when recited, they emit certain positive radiations and certain positive vibrations. However, sir, I agree that there are no scientific conclusive proofs to this phenomena, sir. But, sir, speaking about my personal experiences, sir, I have always felt very positive and very happy, sir, when I recite these totras.
Okay. So there is one stotra which talks about distance between sun and earth. What is that?
Sir, it is not exactly a stotra, sir, but the Hanuman Chalisa, it is said that it talks about the distance between sun and earth, sir. Yes.
So how far is that?
Sorry, sir, I will have to go and brush it up, sir.
Okay. So you are talking about Karl Marx, Emil Durkheim and all this.
Yes.
There was a famous statement about Karl Marx. The objective of the Marxists or communists is not to make the poor rich, but how fast we can make the rich to the destitutes or poor. Do you agree with this?
Sir, although I confess I have not heard this statement before, sir, but if I am allowed to interpret, sir, this statement might mean that the objective of the Marxists is not to bring schemes or bring certain upliftments for the poor, but rather to usher in a more equitable society, because, sir, Karl Marx always focuses on the difference between the bourgeoisie and the proletariat. And I believe, sir, it might be that this statement might mean that the Marxists, they try to bridge these inequalities, sir.
Okay. So being a sociology student, how do you rely on the methodology used for growth numbers or the poverty numbers? How far we can rely?
Yes, sir. Sir, to measure growth numbers and poverty numbers, sir, India follows two kinds of approach, sir. One is the census, which is conducted every 10 years, and sir, I believe that can be considered more reliable due to the all-inclusive sample size. Apart from that, sir, there are sample surveys conducted by organizations like the NSSO and National Statistical Organization, sir. And I believe that, of course, sir, they might represent the truth, but definitely there remains a scope of error, sir, because the sample size is curtailed to a great extent. And sir, as we have studied, sir, the smaller the sample size, the less reliable it becomes. So I believe, sir, although these organizations, they try to maximize the sample size, but definitely, sir,
This is a very generalistic response.
Yes.
I need particular aspects, like say for example, growth numbers, latest announcements. So is it inflated? Is it genuine? How far we can rely on it? Likewise, the multidimensional poverty numbers.
Yes, sir. Sir, I believe that the organizations which release such data, sir, they are very credible organizations. And thus, sir, I would personally choose to rely on that data, sir. Apart from that, sir, critics, they are often divided about the reliability of such data. And we can find both aspects, sir. So, again and again, sir, there is a need for more transparency to make the system more reliable, sir.
Okay, being a sociology student, you say that we should depend on the organization that releases the data and not observations on the methodology used.
Sorry, sir, that was not my intention, sir. Definitely, we should rely on the methodology, sir. And sir, that is what I meant when I referred to transparency. However, sir, these are credible organizations which have time and again proven to supply quality data to the public, sir. And that is why, sir, I talked about their reliability.
So one last question.
Yes.
Recently, one of the country has made this abortion a fundamental right.
Yes.
So what sociological implications will it have on the family or the gender or?
Sir, France recently made, on the eve of International Women's Day on 8th March, abortion as a constitutional right, and it was the first country in the world to do so. Sir, it will have sociological implications.
Is it just a constitutional right or is it
Sir, it is a fundamental constitutional right. Yes, sir. Sir, it will have sociological ramifications. For instance, sir, it has often been said that while feminism, it is being introduced into the modern world, it is leading to a decline of public patriarchy, wherein the institutions, they are trying to be more transparent and more just. However, private patriarchy in the form of women saying their private lives in families, it still remains on a high. And sir, I believe that this might be a viable method to tackle this private patriarchy, and women finally will get more and more say in making decisions about their body and autonomy of themselves. Apart from that, sir, the family system, it will have a say of both the man and the woman through this right given to the women, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Shivansh. Thank you for elucidating that. So, do you think this very historic decision taken by the French Parliament is going to also have some implications globally and say in India?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, definitely it sets a positive precedent for the world to look forward to and for the world to follow. For instance, even when our Supreme Court passes a landmark judgment, it definitely takes into account the global best practices that are being followed. And I believe, ma'am, France can be such a best practice that the world can see and the world can, in the near future, follow, ma'am.
But you know, we also know that preconceived ideas and prejudices, biases, these are very contagious. In fact, they are more contagious than COVID, I would say. How would you respond to that?
Ma'am, I agree with you that preconceived ideas and prejudices, they can be very contagious as well as very harmful, ma'am. And the notions of fake speech that we see and misinformation that is spread, that is primarily a byproduct of such ideas. And ma'am, today social media as well as free media, it has even made this worse. And in the time of the WHO pandemic, ma'am, I'm sorry, ma'am, in the time of the COVID pandemic, the WHO came up with a term called infodemic to refer to this contagious spread of misinformation. Yes, ma'am.
I was referring more to patriarchy, social and gender norms, right? So not infodemic. So especially in the context of Haryana, where you come from, right? In spite of development, we have social development not at par. So how do you see this playing out? How do we deal with these entrenched patriarchal norms? Right?
Ma'am, I believe a multi-pronged approach needs to be followed in order to deal with these entrenched patriarchal norms. In the short term, ma'am, I believe that schemes of the government like Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, they can be utilized to communicate directly with the public, and NGOs, etc., they can be involved in this process so that an attitude change can be brought at the ground level. In the medium term, ma'am, I believe that women entrepreneurs from Haryana, as well as women role models like sports persons, they can be supported financially as well as given the right facilities in order to prosper. And these can serve as role models for the women of Haryana, which can finally lead to women empowerment. And ma'am, in the long term, I believe that women's education and women's healthcare, these can be focused upon as a critical pillar in ensuring that women, they are empowered in the state and women can take a stand for themselves, ma'am.
Also, men have a role, right? Women also need an enabling environment to flourish. Okay, just moving on to, you mentioned in the discussion that UN needs to take a stand.
Yes.
That UN is, we also hear the UN has become irrelevant. Why is that so?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, since the UN has been formed, the globe, it has undergone a lot of transitions, and the world order is no longer the same. However, UN, it tries to stick to that very same structure. For instance, it is not admitting world's largest population, that is India, into the UN Security Council as a permanent member state. So, ma'am, I believe that there is a need for reforms in the UN, and UN needs to be more inclusive and more representative in order to be more relevant.
But UN is what? UN is the member states. So, right. So it's the member states who have to take a decision. So how do you get, when the world is so fractured today, right? How can you get any agreement on any kind of reform, structural reform in the UN?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I believe that finally it is the multilateral will and the global will that will lead to such reforms. But ma'am, there are certain provisions, for instance, the veto power which has been given to the permanent 5 members of the UN Security Council. That is hindering a lot of reforms in the UN. For instance, they are not allowing countries like India to enter into the UNSC permanent seats, even if there is a global will.
That's the thing. I don't know about the global will, but with this veto, that's why we are seeing what's happening in Russia, Ukraine, or the other 2 conflicts that are raging, and so many other issues, right? And everybody is getting very disillusioned with the UN, and certainly there's need for reform, but it's the geopolitics is very complex.
Certainly, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Anyway, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Shivansh, what is the meaning of Shivansh?
Yes, sir. Sir, Shivansh means Shiv ka ansh, or a fragmental part of Lord Shiva. Apart from that, sir, Shivansh has also in the Puranic scriptures been referred to a lot of avatars and sons of Lord Shiva. Sir, certain such Shivanshas in Puranic scriptures can be Lord Ganesh, Lord Kartikeya, Lord Hanuman, as well as, sir, there have been seen to be certain negative Shivanshas as well. For instance, sir, the demon Jalandhar or the demon Andhakasur, they were some negative Shivans. So, sir, going broader, sir, it has often been said in the scriptures and in the Hindu theology that everything emanates from Shiva. So basically, sir, everything can be termed as Shivan, sir.
What is the best quality which you find in Lord Shiva?
Sir, I believe he is a repository of all the good qualities and all the virtues. But sir, if I were to choose one, sir, I believe it would be non-partisanship, sir. Because, sir, he is the only God who is worshipped equally by the gods, humans and demons, and he does not discriminate between his worshippers, sir.
Any concrete example of that?
Yes, sir. Sir, he bestowed the Tripurasur with the Tripur or the three loks, sir. Further, sir, it was he who gave Bhasmasur the powers to burn anybody whom he put his hand on. Apart from that, sir, he has always been kind to the gods, sir, whenever they seek his blessings. For instance, sir, when the Tripurasur, they were being atrocious after attaining Tripur from Lord Shiva, it was Shiva himself in his Pinaki avatar who took the Pinak bow and destroyed the Tripur, sir.
Okay. Now, you've been a student of sociology.
Yes.
Can you please define what is the sociological definition of marriage?
Sir, sociologists have yet to come upon a common framework and a common definition for marriage. However, sir, many definitions, although they exist, sir, a common definition can be said to, marriage can be said to be a union between two individuals, which has traditionally been looked upon as a male and a female, which leads to further offspring and progeny and propagation of the family. In more sociological terms, sir, some thinkers have also called marriage as an exchange of women in the society. In patriarchal societies, sir, where there are instances of brothers exchanging their sisters in marriage bonds, etc.
So, how do you distinguish it from a live-in relationship?
Yes, sir. Sir, going by what we can see in the society, sir, marriage has a legal sanction today. And not only a legal sanction, sir, it also has a social sanction, and it is widely, sir, it is widely acknowledged in the society. Whereas, sir, live-in relationships, especially in the Indian society, sir, they neither have a legal sanction nor a social sanction. However, sir, there are certain societies where live-in relationships, they are very common. For instance, sir, in the United States, sir, it is very common to be in a live-in relationship, and there they have got a social sanction, sir.
So, it is not the union, it is a legitimacy to the children which is important. That is what you mean by saying legal.
Yes, sir, certainly.
So, from that way, it is different from, say, a marriage is different from live-in relationship, because the legitimacy of children is at stake.
Certainly, sir, it is the legitimacy of the children which is at stake. Apart from that, sir, there are also certain rights which a married couple has and a live-in couple does not have. For instance, sir, a married couple can adopt children, and this is one right that they have, sir. A live-in couple does not have this legal right. So definitely, sir, it is about the children, but it is also about the rights of the couple, sir.
Okay. Now, being a student of sociology, you must also be knowing what is the sociological definition of untouchability.
Yes, sir. Sir, untouchability as a practice, sir, it has, originally it meant that people from the backward and the marginalized castes, sir, they were not, they were looked down upon by the Dvijas or the twin born. And sir, thus this practice was followed wherein they were not touched. Going more by sociological terms, sir, it is the practice of discrimination wherein a section of the society is marginalized, sir, and it might not only be limited to touch, and sir, it might also refer to oppressive practices, for instance, refusing food cooked by someone, sir.
Is it anywhere defined? Any act, anywhere, any in the constitution? Is it defined?
Sir, the constitution in the fundamental rights, sir, it although tries to, it abolishes untouchability, sir. However, sir, it too has not come upon a clear definition of untouchability, sir.
Okay. What is the biggest sociological problem in India today?
Yes, sir. Sir, may I take a moment to think about?
Please.
Yes, sir. Sir, I believe that there are a lot of sociological problems in India. But if I were to choose one, sir, I probably would choose patriarchy and the discrimination that is being faced by women. And sir, my reason for choosing this is that women constitute almost 50% of the population. And sir, if such a large chunk is being discriminated against, sir, then definitely it becomes the largest sociological problem of the society, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
You'll do well.
Thank you,
You'll
sir.
do well. All the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.